everyone, I'm Asia. This is Brian, and today we're answering your questions. He doesn't really want to do this right now, but I'm forcing him to. Posted a video on Instagram saying that we're doing this video and to send us your questions. So we're going to try and get through as many as possible before Brian decides he no longer wants to do this. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Damn! You did like the...
Yeah, a lot of questions. How do you beat self-doubt? I think you just have to do it.
I think it's a waste of time. I think get a grasp on your purpose, and I think that will outshine, or that will get you through the times where your confidence is real low, or self-doubt. Just remember why you're doing stuff.
Yeah, and I think logistically, like if it's like for school or whatever, you need to like have a plan. Like if it's for a presentation or something and you're nervous, you need to have a plan, like step by step, as to how to prepare for that. Because I feel like if you're more prepared, then that self-doubt will go lower.
Agreed.
Hey, moving in with my BF into our next place next month. Any tips on living as one?
Yeah, you have to have your life, your significant other's life, and then y'all's life together. There has to be equally distributed.
Why is it below? It should be this way.
No,
your life, significant life, your life together.
Her graph is a lot better. But what I'm saying is you can't blend. Once it starts blending, that's when I think you'll start seeing problems. So just make sure you have a life, your time together, and y'all's own time to each other.
Yeah, I agree. I think also just in relationships in general, you need to be independent of each other as well.
Yeah, and I think that is something that honestly, it took a while for us to get down, but luckily our jobs are just totally polar opposites, so I'm required to be away all the time, and so that helps. And also, like, it's cool because like you get to have the feeling I'm actually missing someone when I leave to go out the country. Like, there are times I'm like, whoa, I really miss Asia. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just maintaining that independence and having your alone time, making sure that you prioritize alone time as well, I think is really important. How do you and Brian handle arguments? I think like twice a year we have major arguments and then we just talk through it.
Yeah, it's like...
Because my problem is I can't vocalize clearly how I'm feeling, and then it ends up sounding differently in my head than it actually is verbally, the way it comes out to Brian. So just taking time to like really speak to each other, not yell at each other and stuff.
Yeah, I think twice a year, well, I call them realignments. We just kind of like, it'll start off like, the typical like yelling at each other, and then it'll honestly be like one therapeutic like session.
Yeah. And
just like realigning and making sure like, just like retuning the relationship, which is really smart because like things change all the time, and you just want to make sure you guys are on the, on the same page at least.
Yeah.
For like the small ones, I've recently, even if I'm wrong or right, which I'm never really wrong, but I've been practicing just like sucking it up and just quickly apologizing, like something I do that kind of ticks her off, and I'll know that she's ticked off. Within like 5 minutes, I'll just be like, all right, I'm sorry, and a little kiss on the cheek or whatever.
Yeah,
and then
it's easy how small things can go away with a simple apology. But also with those minor arguments, sometimes when I make big deals about things that aren't really a big deal, he'll like kind of make me laugh out of it. Like make me realize that it's kind of silly and just does something silly, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of stupid. Similarly, when did you and Brian decide to move in together? Kind of just happened. We don't actually have a conversation about it. His time with his roommate was ending, my time with my roommate was ending, and it was just kind of like perfect timing. It's definitely a learning curve because when you live with someone, you definitely begin to see and notice things that you wouldn't have noticed just like spending the night together or something. So,
it's like a real test.
Yeah.
It's a real test. Like you'll quickly realize, okay, where you guys actually stand in real life.
So, but to answer the question, it wasn't a big deal. It just happened. So it was 4 years ago. We've been together for 6 years. How do I deal with my boyfriend being around beautiful girls? How do I not be so insecure? Well, early in our relationship, Brian was always around beautiful girls. And I found that when I kind of befriended them, it made it more easier to handle versus like kind of hating them, hating the situation.
Oh, that's true. Like Jenna, Crystal.
Yeah. So when he would, now it's like not an issue when he works with girls for his videos. It's like not a big deal to me. But when it was a big deal, I would go to the shoot and then just like start befriending the girls. So then once you're friends with them, it's not a big deal anymore because you can kind of tell the intentions there aren't any intentions and it's okay. Also, the question is, why is he around beautiful girls? Is it because of his work or is it because he chooses to like go out and party and do all that stuff, which I think is like another issue. But also like, yeah, you need to figure out if you trust your boyfriend or not, because if you don't, then what are you doing? Would you advise someone to give their ex a chance after they reached out 2 years later?
Whoa.
And they broke up because of long distance and it was both hard on each other.
I think, yeah. You can grow a lot in those 2 years as a person, especially depending on like your age, like 20 to 22 or even like financially or so. I think that's something that I think you know the answer to, but you're definitely in a situation where you're way better off than some people, like, you know, of the exes. In the case of the ex, like, at least it wasn't bad.
What is your favorite fun thing to do as a couple? I honestly just like our family time, like just going out and taking walks or like going to the farmer's market. Then I also think I like going to when we go to comedy clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it's not like a couples thing, but when we do escape rooms, I think it's really fun because we work well together.
It's movies.
Oh yeah, he loves the movies.
It's just I really enjoy. My mind is constantly it's super hyperactive and like it's always. It feels like it needs to create. So movies, even like the occasional Netflix binge.
Occasional, all the time.
It takes away my mind and it takes away that stress for that period of time. So
I dated older men but never younger. I don't know how I feel. I'm 29, he's 21. Nope. A 21-year-old guy?
Damn, girl.
Hell no. Absolutely not.
Yo, get it in though. Just I wouldn't put all your eggs in that basket though.
You guys are emotionally on two different levels.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to have fun, then have fun. But at the end of the day, that relationship's not going to go anywhere.
He might just grow into someone that's just completely different, and that's not his fault.
No.
So just be aware of that.
Totally. Like he's in his growing into phase, and I don't know if you really want to stick around to see who he ends up becoming. And don't think that you can end up like training him or changing him, because you can't. What is one clothing of each other that you would want to get rid of?
Man.
These?
Those and these really big pajamas that are for men's.
Which
from
ones?
Target. The one that I got for Christmas for myself
your
because it's comfy. But they are ginormous on her.
I like them because they don't tighten my stomach rolls.
Yeah, it's
basically, I think all of his sweatpants that I borrow, he'd want to get rid of me wearing.
Yes, you wear my sweatpants more than I do.
Yeah, I just wear sweatpants all the time. I can eat and I don't have to unbutton my pants.
What?
That's why
You're
I
the
like
only person I know that has to unbutton their pants.
Well, I want to be comfortable when I eat and sit down. That's why I wear sweatpants.
You can't say anything about mine because you wear all of my clothes.
No,
even my
I was gonna
expensive
say
clothes.
you're one of your pair of Fear of God shoes because you have 3 of them and they all are the same. See, the black ones I guess you could keep. But these are exactly the same shoe.
Next question. And make sure to put those back.
How do I make my family friend who I'm pretty sure likes me make a move? I don't know. Why don't you make the move?
Yeah.
I have an exam in 2 days. I'm an IT student, but I can't find the motivation to study. Any tips? Maybe you need to change the location of where you're studying. If you're studying in like at home or in your room, maybe
There
go
you
to a
go.
coffee shop, or I really liked studying at the library. I find that sometimes when you're just surrounded by people and have ambient noise, it helps me concentrate. Even when I work, since I work from home, when I don't want to work, but I know I have to, I'll like go to the rooftop or like a cafe or something and do work there because they're like, you have a purpose to where you're going.
Having the act of like leaving your
Leaving
home
the house, yeah.
will make the difference.
There is a lot of financial questions in here, so maybe I'll just do another video and answer those.
Just do one.
Really? Is it difficult working on your financial goals separately, and how do you work through that?
My destination is, I mean, obviously, get to a position where I could provide for a family, for Asia, house, etc., etc. She's a way better saver than I am.
He just asked me if I wanted to take over money for him.
Yeah.
Which I
our
would
journeys
love to do.
are definitely different because we have different responsibilities.
Yeah, I mean, my financial goals are very, very clear. Like paying off my debt is the first thing I want to do ever. And then after that, it would be to start saving up for a house, and then a wedding, and then like, I don't know, life. So, I mean, right now it's separate because we're not married, and that's just like the easiest thing to do. But once we do get married, everything will be combined. And then once we go through that, we can do a totally different video.
She's definitely going to handle the money though.
Yes, I am. For me, I think it's easier if one person controls it, because then I don't want to say control, it's just like handles it, because I think especially just for me is I just tend to take over things for the household because I am home, and I do like, that's just something that I just do. So it'd just be easier if I was able to handle everything for the family. Yeah. And then just get us on track to buying a home and getting us on track for retirement and stuff. So, should I have Chick-fil-A today or nah? No.
Yes.
What's your favorite relaxing activity to do as a couple?
Massages.
Oh yeah, massages, mani-pedis we like to do. If you're in LA, our favorite massage is Tomoko Spa, beautiful Japanese massages, and like the best massages we've ever had for sure. How many children do you want? I have 2.
I've always wanted like 3, like 2 older brothers to watch over the sister. Just because I thought I was just really gangster.
I don't know if my vagina can handle 3 children. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. What kind of living problems did you and Brian run into? Messiness, AC temperature, etc.
I don't think any of those things. I think, to be honest, she's way more messier than I am. Not in that like sense, like hygiene, but like because of just all like, all the stuff that she gets in the mail.
Oh yeah, my PR packages were absolutely terrible before.
Yeah, so like her makeup, her products that, the shit builds up.
But now they're all in their place. I've told numerous companies to stop sending me PR packages, and then what I do now is when I do make a mess, I clean it up pretty immediately, because if I don't, I'll just let it live for a couple days. So I'm trying to be more conscious of that. But I think one problem that we still deal with though is like food. It's just that we have different eating habits. Like I'm more of a bird and prefer to snack throughout the day, and he needs like 5 huge meals a day.
It's also like I like doing things together, like eating, right? She's not a breakfast person, but I am. So I just feel wrong.
Yeah, y'all know I don't like breakfast food.
I just feel wrong, like preparing something just for myself. So that's why I'm like, are you hungry? Are you hungry? You sure? You sure?
Yeah.
And then we both get irritated. So it's like trying to find that balance. But like sometimes I try to like wait till she gets hungry, but then
I can basically
she
just
can eat
like,
one meal a day
yeah.
and she'll be fine. But then for me, yeah, that's when I get really irritated.
Yeah, he gets hangry. What is the best music to play in the car on a first date? Do you remember the songs that you played? On our first date, Eric Billinger was playing.
Yeah, R&B, you'll never
Born to Sing Volume 3.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with like good
R&B, for sure. I'll put my R&B playlist in the description box. Hey, but remember when you embarrassed yourself on our first date?
Oh yeah, I had like a little Austin Powers situation.
You had a major Austin Powers situation. My old street, it was like a 2-way, but it was like one of those really like skinny 2-ways.
Yeah.
And he thought it was really cool, but he tried to turn around, but he got stuck in between like parallel parked cars and had to do like a 40-point turn to pick me up. 4th of July party plans. Tips on food, drinks, decor on a budget. Last year we had 4th of July. Are you going to be here this year?
Yeah.
We had 4th of July at our place, and we had people bring food, and we barbecued.
You did.
Remember? Yeah. We had guacamole, August bought his shrimp.
We had 2 people over.
Yeah, every time I try to plan parties at our place, no one ever comes.
It's because
I've stopped making things for parties I invite people to now because I don't want to waste the time. I mean, at least come for the dogs. Like, what the fuck? People came for 4th of July. The most people that came to our house when I invited people over was for Game of Thrones. Not for Thanksgiving, not for like New Year's, birthdays, nothing, but Game of Thrones dinner parties was the one thing everyone came to. But nothing else. Super Bowl, there was only 3 of us. I was really mad about that actually. Best LA apartment hunting tips for a couple. Don't get a loft.
Yeah, loft is
We had
more...
our place 2 places ago was a loft, and it was cool, but you need doors if you're a couple. You need to
going back to what we said earlier.
close them out.
You both need your own space. Unless it's like a dope as like second 2-story loft.
You just need a place to hide on occasion. So when I needed to hide, I just went in the bath, took a shower. But now we have 2 separate rooms, so he has his own space, I have my own space. We have an outdoor space. There's a lot of places for us to just escape if we need to take a breather. So that would be my advice. Find some place with doors. How to handle choosing a place to eat when you both don't care where to eat. We struggle with that all the time.
Because she's a picky eater, so I'm always like, okay, you decide. Because I'll eat anything.
Yeah, but then if I say I want sushi, you don't want sushi.
It's hard because, I'm also trying to like...
You don't want the sushi
eat healthy.
rice. But you had 2 donuts today.
I know, but macros.
Yeah, I feel like most of our small arguments are based around food. But our go-tos tend to be like pho or ramen, I think.
We're doing a good job of not ordering Domino's.
Yeah, we're doing a great job about not ordering Domino's. How do you maintain a work-life balance?
I think we've been touching on it like this whole video is like make sure you separate your work and your home and your relationship. If you blend all of that, that's where you'll start seeing problems pop up.
And I think we are independent workers, so we make our own schedule. But one thing that I'm trying to do is just work during like regular 9 to 5, 10 to 6 hours. And then after that, I don't do work. I'm trying really hard to do that. And it's hard sometimes, but you need to like have an end time to your work. And I'm also trying to not do work in the bed. Did you notice that? Or outside of shooting videos, but like on the computer?
Yeah.
Yeah. How to stay committed to each other. I don't know, you just do.
I can fall in love with her like every day.
Except right now, you hate me because I'm making you shoot a video?
I wanted to take it. But I mean, if you're having trouble staying committed.
Yeah, that's I don't know if you asking that question is like the answer to your question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Would y'all ever consider living outside the US, and where? If we were younger, I think I would like to move to New York for a little bit, which is inside the US, but I'd like to do that.
I could definitely live in the Philippines. Yeah, and I think just like the Filipino people are just like super just welcoming, passionate. And yeah, I think we would have a lot of fun. But I think I wouldn't mind moving to like Bali.
I do not want to move to Bali. Nope.
Didn't let me finish.
Okay.
To help with
the dog population.
Yeah, to help out over there with the pollution. And just like the cleanup.
Can move anywhere to help with the pollution.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's as we're getting older and now it's the time to start having kids and stuff. Definitely thinking about where we want to raise our kid is something that's in my mind. Hawaii? Yeah, because I'd want our kid to go to Punahou where I graduated. Do's and don'ts for skincare people in their 20s: sunscreen, 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 hats, sunglasses. What are your skincare tips, honey?
I don't know. The reason why I'm always like
the reason why he's hiding his face is he has a pimple.
Which you guys can't see because I'm just like this.
How do you know when you're ready to start dating again after a breakup? I think the moment where you can think of your ex and not cry is a good time that you can start dating. How do you guys stay motivated?
I just think
you need to remember what your end goals are, and that should motivate you pretty well.
Like I've been saying this throughout the whole thing about your purpose, right? People look for balance, seek balance, which is cool, but I think balance, if balance is this, right? It's, all it takes is one little thing to throw off your balance, right? But one thing that will never falter or break is your purpose. So purpose of like, why are you doing what you're doing? So when I'm having trouble, if I wake up and I'm having a lazy day, that means like, oh, my balance is off, right? But what will get me out of bed is my purpose.
I'm trying to make more money to pay off debt, but my pet is very expensive. What should I do? Well,
give it to Asia.
Please do not give up your pet if you can. Animals get euthanized. 4 million animals get euthanized from the shelter every year. So if you can try your best to not give your pet up, that would be the best. Obviously, having pets is very, very expensive. So if you're considering it, know that it's a money sucker. But for us, it's well worth all the love and stuff. But if you are having hard financial times, see if there's a rescue that can help you in terms of maybe food donation or toys or whatever you need. I know there's a lot of rescues in LA that try to help owners in financial hardship keep their animals because that's really important. So try to reach out to some local rescues for that. But in terms of side hustles, there's a ton of side hustles you could do.
Yeah, especially today.
Yeah, but I'll do a video on side hustles you can do from home. Last question. How do you inspire your partner to be environmentally conscious?
Just nag.
Honey.
Yeah, it's constantly...
Do I nag you?
I don't know. Maybe that was the lack for better words, but she's constantly reminding me, which I tell you that it actually works. Because...
Well, the one thing that hasn't worked is you turning off the water when you brush your teeth, though.
Well, sometimes I remember, but then it's too late. Then I have to turn it back on.
Or like for me, I just take charge of stuff. So when we go to the movies or when we go out and I know he'll buy a drink, I'll bring my reusable straw and stuff to the movies. Or when we go to the grocery store, I make sure to have grocery bags in each of our cars and then smaller bags for produce in our cars, so we're always prepared.
Yeah.
But you're good at composting or like putting scraps away in the compost bin.
She's leading by example, and I think it is rubbing off on me.
Well, also, I think
Not
he's
gonna be
more
perfect.
so surrounded by people that are more vocal about it. So, like myself and a couple of like Instagram accounts he follows. So, I think he's just being surrounded by it now. So,
Yeah.
it's just more being more conscious. But I don't think I definitely don't like get mad at him or anything when he brings like plastic bags into our apartment. It's just like how can we reuse that so it doesn't go to waste and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you can't force your lifestyle on someone. It's just making it an easy transition
Yeah.
for
It's
that other person.
Also,
to
like,
live by.
we're never gonna reach the perfect
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Even with Asia, like this,
we'll
you can't
always have an environmental footprint.
just do your part. Do what you can. And that's all we could really ask. You know.
Yeah, and leading by example too, because when people start seeing you doing it, then you might be able to rub off on them. Yay! You can go to sleep now. And if you have any other couples videos you want us to do, please let us know. He wants to do another cooking one, so if you have
I get to eat after.
if you have more food suggestions, I know a lot of you said adobo, but it doesn't have to be strictly Filipino food. If you have any other type of food that you want to see us cook, let us know in the comments. And if you have a recipe, you can go ahead and tag that too. But that's it.
New albums coming soon. New song coming next week.
The new song's fire. Look at Luke.